Okay, so here you can see that I am playing around with that color pair. Remember, I had talked about setting up my palette so that I could use yellow and purple to make that series of brown and grays, accenting probably with some cobalt turquoise or with some phthalo blue. So here you can see in my sketchbook, I am playing around with the yellow and the purple. I am mixing them into each other in a form of intensity scale, and this would work with any color. So here I'm starting with the yellow. On this top layer, I lightened it up with that unbleached titanium. This is that unbleached color. The off-white. This one here is the actual white. So you can see the difference between lightening it up with that unbleached titanium versus the white. This is the yellow with a little bit of purple, which I will need when I think about painting these shadow colors on my chair, right? This is definitely this color. That is not a brilliant, beautiful yellow anymore. So I will need these kind of shadow colors for the chair. The yellow with the gradually more purple starts to make some browns that I will need when I'm thinking about painting the floor. Again, I experimented with the unbleached titanium and the white just to see the color difference that I'm making when I shift from white to the unbleached. Both of them lighten it up, but they both lighten it up in a different way. I am also taking the purple. This is just clean purple, lightened up. This is purple mixed with the phthalo blue. That's then mixed with the yellow. So here I end up getting, this is my phthalo with the yellow, and then I make a green that will work for that orchid that's in my photo. This is the purple with a little bit of yellow in it. This is going to be great for some of my darker shadow colors. And I'm going to need to experiment to figure out the best way to make a really good dark, because my shadows underneath the chair are really deep. And if I don't have this same shadow structure in my painting, it's not going to be as effective of an image. So I do have to make sure that I'm thinking about how I'm going to get those deep darks with that color pair combination, okay, before I start my painting. I think too many of you are thinking very literally. You're thinking color pair and your painting is coming out very red and yellow, for instance, and you're not thinking about that you need to mix those colors together and that you also need to have a complementary color in there. So if I am using red and yellow, for instance, I'm going to make this whole crazy series of oranges, and I'm going to need to use a blue to be able to get some of my darks. I'm going to need darks to be able to have the sensation of depth in my painting work, and to make sure that I'm thinking about that before I move into making my actual painting. Now, if you've started your painting and you didn't do this in your sketchbook, it's not that big of a deal. However, watching you guys paint today, far too many of you are using tube color. You should never take color straight out of the tube and throw it into your painting. Your painting ends up looking like rainbow vomit then. You really do have to mix your colors together. The whole point of making a painting with a pair of colors and limiting your color palette is to create this color harmony that can exist then inside your painting. So you do want to make sure that you're thinking about this. Also, this gives me the opportunity to say, oh man, this gray, I mean, my windowsills are white, but they don't look white in the photo because of the white that's outside and the snow and the light that's out there. I discovered that taking the purple, adding a little bit of the yellow, makes this great dark that I'll need for under the chair. But when I mix it with the unbleached titanium, this color does start to become one of the colors that I'm going to need as I'm painting my windowsill. So it's only through this experimentation process that I'm discovering What colors can I make? How am I going to use them in my painting? So I can avoid this idea that my painting will just be yellow and purple. I will probably never use purple in this painting. I am going to start with this color here and work my way this way in my color scheme with my color pair. And so that's where that color makes sense. I don't see any place in my painting where I'm actually going to use only purple. So like I said, the purpose of using a color pair to make a painting is to limit your palette and to increase the sense of unity, but you do have to mix your colors together. You cannot just use tube color. You have to kind of create these colors that come out of the combination of the colors. And if you're using something like blue and green, that's fine, but you are going to have to throw a complementary color in there to kind of give you some of the ugly colors that you need to make your painting work. Paintings don't work without ugly colors too.